cold out there today. Certainly, it's only going to get colder as we head into the overnight hours tonight. That includes those overnight lows, but especially when you add in the wind chill impact early Wednesday morning, it is going to feel brutal out there. So please make sure, especially this kind of 12 to 24 hour period, you're really limiting that time outside if you can. First alert weather days will last through the rest of the day today and then again headed into tomorrow. You may have gotten this alert earlier this morning, the extreme cold warning. That doesn't go into effect until later tonight. Everybody is still under the cold weather advisory until 7 p.m. Then 7 p.m. this evening, that's when that extreme cold warning starts to take effect, and that is because wind chill values will likely be at -25, if not colder, to get tomorrow morning started. Now, without a doubt, it's cold outside right now. With single-digit air temperatures anywhere from about 5 to 7 degrees. You can see that's a pretty common number across parts of northeast Ohio. Factor in the wind chill, though. In a lot of spots, it does feel like we are well below zero. I think there's something wrong with the new Philadelphia wind chill reading here, because it is definitely probably feeling more so like -7 versus just that 7-degree reading. So again, kind of keep this in mind. We have a system that's coming through today. It's an Arctic front. It may spark a few isolated snow showers. You can see a little bit of that going out over the lake, but for the most part, it is really just going to be the colder air that settles in behind this front that really kind of takes the cake in terms of our forecast later this afternoon. Here's your future view. Again, some widely scattered snow showers possible. Temperatures will come down a little bit, especially in our western counties as we go through this afternoon, and then the chill really starts to settle in later tonight. We'll talk a lot more about that coming up. And of course, we'll take a live look from our first alert camera out at the Cedar Point area. Certainly you can tell that across Sandusky Bay, we're starting to get a little bit more of that ice accumulating once again. Had melted over the last several days because of some of the warmer temperatures, but now that we're into this Arctic chill, ice is starting to reaccumulate, and that's just going to continue as we go through the rest of the day today and especially into tomorrow. Now, we are continuing this 19 first alert weather day because of the extremely cold temperatures that will eventually grip the region later tonight, headed into early tomorrow morning. That's when we could be talking about 25-degree below zero wind chills headed into the early part of your Wednesday. So frostbite, hypothermia could set in really over a very short amount of time, and you really want to make sure you're limiting any of that time outside if you possibly can. The cold weather advisories are actually still in effect today. That will go until 7 p.m., and that's because of the wind chill factor still being above -24. Once you get into the -25-degree category, that's when you start getting into that extreme cold, and that will not happen until we get into the later part of tonight. And a lot of that has to do with the cold front that's starting to make its way through the region. Right now, high pressure sits just off to our west. That's going to allow the skies to clear out on the backside of this cold front, and that's one of the contributing factors to allowing temperatures to fall as quickly as they will after this cold front passes off towards the east. It's also drawing in much colder air for us. So in tandem of both of those ingredients, that's why we're talking about such brutally cold conditions, and have been, knowing that Wednesday morning was going to be the worst of it. Temperatures right now sit into the single digits, between about 5 to 9 degrees on average. Wind chill values -15 to about -5. That's on par with where we have had the forecast over the last couple of days, and that trend will continue as we go through the rest of this afternoon. You'll notice next 24 hours, clouds start to clear out later today. That lends way to clear skies. By about 11 p.m. this evening, temperatures could already be dropping below zero, and that will continue as we head into the early hours of tomorrow morning. It is quite possible that several of our cities are running up against record cold temperatures to get Wednesday morning started. You'll also notice this value here, that's your wind chill factor. So in a lot of spots, it could be -25, potentially as cold as -30. That's where we're getting the day started headed into tomorrow, and thankfully we will start to warm up. It's just going to take a little bit of extra time. So still expect there to be a wind chill impact even as we go through the day on Thursday, as we're still waiting on this heat to really build back into the region. Again, it's going to take a little bit of time because of how cold temperatures have been the last couple of days, and with it may come an isolated opportunity for us to pick up on some snow showers. But again, overall, it's really the cold the next couple of days that takes the cake. Temperatures by the weekend may finally get close to 30. We'll talk a little bit more about that snow chance coming up in the next half hour.